Alright, this is sort of a serious video that I'm making, and it's expressing my opinion on what's going on in the America today, especially in America. No, and where I live, here in Louisville, Kentucky, is getting hit really hard, especially recently. So, and this is all doing with the Black Lives Matter movement. So, so first of all, I will start off with the beginning and what happened in leading up to today, or what's currently happening now. First of all, Breonna Taylor incident happened back in the springtime, March, something like that, May, something like that. It was like 1 month before George Floyd incident. No. And what happened, from what I remember, is that when that incident with Breonna Taylor happened, though, I saw that one of my friends from high school posted, or shared something about it, and I was like, okay, nothing to worry about. Just seems like an average, normal shooting story, in Louisville. Nothing to worry about that much. And then, 1 month later, the George Floyd incident happened. So, and then, a few days later, chaos happened. So we're up in the area where George Floyd incident happened. Then a lot of riot stuff happened. And then, a lot of people were like, oh, would that happen? And Breonna Taylor's family and everyone else in that community, in that area, were like, oh, let's get justice for what the police officer did to Breonna Taylor. And so, there's that. And shortly after that, with the riot happening wherever the George Floyd incident happened, they happened here. And they basically almost destroyed half of downtown Louisville. Though, and even the heart of Louisville, downtown Louisville, the heart of it, they basically looted a lot of places and destroyed a lot of buildings and stuff. So, I was like really heartbroken when I saw the aftermath photos of it. No. And then, like, shortly after that, nothing really much happened much, other than, like, the protest, came, people were protesting outside the mayor's office, in the court square that's over near it, though, and some other stuff like that, and it was still chaos and riot and stuff. But still, it was slow like that for like a week or two. And I basically, during that time period, I basically like said, screw it. I'm not gonna log into Facebook and see all this riot, Black Lives Matter stuff happening that's going through my feed. No. So, yeah, I basically just zoned out and was like, okay, that's cool. And then, like, 2 weeks later, after that happened, I got on Facebook, and everything seemed a lot calmer. And then, jumping month later, there was shooting in that courtyard area. That was like meh. And then, just recently, a few days ago, there was press release about, charges pressed on the police officers that shot Breonna Taylor and all this other stuff, and that caused even more chaos. And people were like, what? Why? Just why? Or doing this and all this stuff. And with the George Floyd incident, that got resolved like within a few months, though. And no one's really talking about George Floyd anymore. I'm not hearing about it on my Facebook feed and all that. But really, here in Louisville, I'm hearing a lot about the Breonna Taylor case. But recently, there's been some more looting and stuff. And even just recently, right before I started recording this audio for this video, I saw someone post an article on Facebook that was from a local news station, and they reported that several businesses got looted overnight, though, and two of those businesses, or GameStop, two different locations, and these are ones that I really like going into. One of them was like one that I've been to a lot, about 15 years ago or so, and the other one I've been there, but not that much, though. And even that other one of them I've actually bought in, like, it's basically in the same shopping building area as like a Best Buy, so it's like basically right next to a Best Buy, Dollar Tree, and a few other businesses. No, and like back 2017, like end of July 2017, after saving up enough money, like saving up $400, I bought a Nintendo Switch from the Best Buy there, and when I was buying it, I bought along with a Type-C charging cable, a 32 gig SD card, with like 64 gig SD card, I don't remember, and I was planning on buying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe along with it, but the Best Buy didn't have any on shelf or in stock or whatever, so I went next door and bought the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from GameStop. So, yeah. And at least that, it was like, just what? I just don't understand why people would just loot all this, do looting, and even when the George Floyd incident first happened, the riots happening shortly after the George Floyd incident, there were people looting like Target and other places, and like, really, had it become The Purge, the movie Purge, although I haven't seen the movie Purge, but it sounds like what's happening in the movie Purge, where like saying like all like I don't remember what it is, but it's like murder and all the laws were legal. All these illegal laws were legal for like 24 hours. So basically murder, theft, and all this stuff was legal to do. And so, yeah, it felt like that. Though, and it's like, really, you do not need to cause chaos and destroy a bunch of things to get justice for what you wanted, though. And if you look at like 60 years ago, during the civil rights movement, with like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. and what they done, and with their protest group that they were leading, they did not go out to, like, let's say, Washington D.C. And go and raid and loot the Washington Monument and destroy it, or even like the museums over there, or other places like that. Just say, hey, we want our rights. We want to be equal. with the whites. And so there's that. And with the Black Lives Movement that's currently happening, that is another story. With all these black people saying, okay, let's get justice for what these cops have done wrong. And with that, is like, some people are taking it to the extreme of doing the wrong thing, while other people are protesting peacefully and just saying, okay, let's post our opinion and give them to our government and persuade them to fix this issue. And instead, some other people are just like, okay, they're saying, F the police and let's go destroy a bunch of historical stuff. And so, and even destroy a bunch of businesses, loot them, and all that. And with that said, it's not going to be easy to recover from. And even those buildings downtown Louisville that got looted and destroyed, like back in early June, which were like some of the buildings were historical buildings, and even one of those buildings was like connected to a really high-end hotel, and it's a shop that I like to visit and look at, which is a Rite Aid. And what in the past 2 or 3 years, what I've done is that when I went downtown for a doctor's appointment, I would be like, okay, I went down there and like, let's say that I arrived there, basically like I came out of the doctor's office, which is like a few blocks down from the Rite Aid. And so I would go over to the Rite Aid, view that Rite Aid, go in there and see what they have, possibly buy a snack or something else like that, and then like head down to the bus stop. So it's like, let's say that I get out of the doctor's office at like, let's say 1 o'clock. So I walk out the building and the bus, and I walk down to Rite Aid, and the bus stop is like a block or two away. So, and I say, and it said like the bus, and I went over to Rite Aid, which is like, let's say I get at Rite Aid 1:15, and the bus is like would come at the bus stop at like 2 o'clock. And so I have like about maybe 15 minutes or 30 minutes to go around Rite Aid, and then walk like about maybe 10-15 minutes to the bus stop and wait for the bus. So there's that. That's what I would do. And there was even like the Louisville Visitor Center that also got raided. I don't know what actually happened, but it got ambushed within the riots and stuff. Which that Welcome Center is a historical Welcome Center, which had on display, Colonel Sanders, one of Colonel Sanders' original white suit uniform that he wore back in the 70s. Especially when you see him in press conferences, commercials, and all that stuff. So basically, it's like about almost 50-year-old suit of an iconic person that created a very well-known, very successful fast food restaurant franchise. But anyway, with that said, you do not need to actually start vandalizing businesses and stuff just to get justice for what's wrong.